Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to make a video on how to solo Dr. V's Labyrinth on hardcore, and for the sake of the video I'm making sure none of the gear that I use actually drops from Dr. V's Labyrinth on hardcore. So a lot of the gear actually drops from the Ancient Forest that I'm going to be using, and I do recommend you be level 1300 to solo it on hardcore. You don't have to be, but it does make it the absolute easiest. So I'm going to go over the gear and stats I have. I do have max stats. I do recommend you try to go for max stats if you're going to be soloing Dr. V's Labyrinth on hardcore. You don't need them, but it does definitely make it easier. So the gear I'm using is enchanted. Here, let me go in my inventory, it'd be easier. So it's the enchanted Excalibur of Life, best sword in the game. Then you got the Rose King's Pendant, which drops from the Colossus boss in the cave in the Ancient Jungle. The Armor of Photosynthesis drops from the Flower Mystery in the Ancient Jungle. And then where's my other thing? There it is, Life Bloom. Also drops from the Flower Mystery in the Ancient Jungle. And then the aura is just an event aura. Use whatever aura you got. And then I recommend you use the Azure rune. So none of the gear I'm using actually drops from the raid itself. So the abilities that I'm going to be using when doing Dr. V's Labyrinth solo is always going to be Moon Cutters. This is your main damage. Its range is amazing. Recharge rate is super fast, and it does huge DPS. You're also going to be using the Sword Storm because it's your great second hit. Does a ton of damage in a pretty big area. And then you're going to be using Calamity Shout as well. So the very first room is incredibly easy because of course it is just 3 mobs. Don't really have anything to say here. Just kill them very quickly. I would recommend you group them all up because while you're alone, you don't have nearly as much damage as you do with your friend. But since you're alone, their health is a lot lower than it normally is. The most painful part of farming this raid alone is by far doing the box room, the laser room, and then you actually can't glitch the boss if you're alone, so you do have to deal with them actually moving around. I find it's always fastest if you go straight to the box room, do that one first, and then do the laser room, and then make your way over to the boss. I've never actually been able to make it all the way to the boss and glitch them before it teleports me. So in the box room, if you don't already know, but you probably do, you wait until it says ding, you click all the boxes until you hit one that has a hidden button in it. Then I'm going to walk over to the laser core room. And then a fun fact, if you're wearing the Armor of Photosynthesis, you can just walk straight through the actual second room of laser grids without dying. We hit both buttons, there's a boss spawning in, so yeah, I guess now we're just going to go straight to the fight. So for this fight, I'm going to leave a lot of it in and a lot of it unedited so you guys can see how hard it actually is for me, how long it takes me, and you get a better general idea of what it will be like to solo this. So by no means is this going to be a breeze of a farm. It's not going to be easy. Every single run will take a while, and the robot fight is probably the hardest one in here. The Toxin's drone is pretty easy, as you can see. You can just backtrack, but her health is huge. So like I said, it will take quite a while to get them down, but it is overall worth it in the long run. One tip I have for all of you watching this video, if you're soloing this and you're farming only the Toxin core, you only have to fight the Toxin's droid. And as you can see, solo it is a little bit harder than it would be with a team. If you're with a team, then you can have them sit behind this barrier here via a glitch, and then basically they can't move, so it is much easier to take care of them. But if you just follow what I'm doing in the video here, constantly backtrack, watch when your calamity is on and off. I haven't been because I've been distracted by talking, but watch your calamity timer, make sure you time it, and one tip I have for you with this loadout is always make sure you use Moon Cutters before your Blade Storm, because the Blade Storm actually makes you not do any abilities for a couple of seconds, so it is always better to Moon Cutters first. So once you get her down to about under 40-ish% health, they're going to start spamming those giant purple squares you see. If you're just following what I do, constantly backtracking, moving around the map the whole time, you really shouldn't run into them at all. I doubt you'll have any problems, and since you're alone, you don't need to worry about poison hitting other teammates, so you can run around the entire room at your free will with no worries. So we've almost defeated her. It's only been a couple of minutes, so this has really not been too bad, as you guys can see. Soloing this is totally possible, and all the gear I'm using isn't from the raid itself, so you can easily farm all of this gear first and then hop in to farm it alone on hardcore. There is the kill on the boss. We got the toxic necklace, not the toxic core. So the toxic necklace is great for defense, but obviously you want the toxic core over that. So we're moving into the next area. So the robot fight is probably going to be the hardest fight of this entire thing to do alone. Once the robot gets down to 50% health, he spawns in a bomb, and this bomb is oftentimes what would always destroy my team, because if you let it go off in the 30 seconds you have to kill it, you lose. Okay, so like the other fight, I want to try to leave most of this unedited, so I like to start with Calamity, Mooncutters, and then Bladestorm. Then all you're going to do is jump a lot, because there is pretty much a bullet hell type boss. Over time, I forgot what percentages you have to get him down to for him to do it, but he spawns in turrets, which hurt a lot. They do also take impacts of your Mooncutters, so the Mooncutters don't pass through them. Oftentimes, if you're aiming at the boss, you'll hit the turrets instead. As you guys can see, I'm already taking massive damage, but thanks to the armor of photosynthesis, we are overall not doing too bad. That was a big mess up on my part. You never want to get hit by those blue beams if you can help it, because they hurt a lot. And as you guys can see, overall, all you gotta do is run around like a clock, and then there's the turret, so I am going to change what I was saying. Here's the turrets. When he says hello to my little friends, all the turrets spawn in. My health is actually getting pretty low, so I do need to be careful here. But this is exactly why I thought that this would be the hardest fight, because these sentries hurt a lot, and there is a lot of them, and when you don't have your friends, you don't have your friends to kill them for you, and yeah, as you can see, if they all hit you at the same time, it hurts a lot. So I am going to run around and clean up these sentries. That is something I would recommend you do. It is a lot better if you're alone to kill those sentries, so you actually can run around and not be shot to hell. So now that the sentries are gone, it's back to just me and the boss, back to me running around like a clock, making sure he can't hit me, watching those lasers staying out of the range of those red circles, and you should be good. She's getting really close to 50% health here, so once he gets down to 50% health, that is when the bomb is going to spawn in, and then my only focus is switched fully over to the bomb. I won't even care about the boss until the bomb is destroyed. Okay, there's the release of the bomb. It is over there. Awesome. So this thing, you want to try to focus all of your firepower on it. It can be kind of annoying to kill, so I do recommend you chase it, use your Mooncutters to kill it as fast as you can. And with this last bit, there we go. Awesome, I got it. Now we go back to the robot mech. Once the robot mech hits 25% health remaining, he will spawn in turrets again. Once he spawns in these turrets, highly recommend you kill him, because it just honestly saves your day, makes it so you don't take nearly as much damage. But we're about to reach the point. There it is. Here comes the turret, so I want to take these out as fast as I can so they don't kill me. There's most of them down. The last three are over here. Let's take them down. There's one, and then I'm going to Bladestorm these last two. And then after you destroy all these turrets, there's no more phases, no more changes. Now I just need to focus on actually killing and finishing off the boss. Awesome, so there is him defeated. So as you can see, it is a relatively difficult boss to solo. By no means is it super easy, but if you just do it over and over again, watch your feet, watch those circles, you will be able to solo him, and the more you do it, obviously, the easier it will get over time. So now we're on to Future Vint, the last boss of the raid. This one is pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is Calamity Mooncutters like I always do, but now I'm going to immediately run to a corner. So the way you defeat Future Vint is you basically want to stay in the corner, because he teleports all around the map. However, if you stay in a corner like I'm doing here, he is much more limited in his movements. And as you guys can see, he absolutely spams attacks. So one thing you got to be constantly doing on this boss is watching your feet. I cannot stress that enough. And sometimes the Bladestorm ability can make it to where it is actually hard to see what Future Vint is doing. So the only phase that I can really think of that stands out with this boss is at 50% health, he will start to launch these massive blue ball attacks at you that just do a ton of damage. It looks like a ton of mini spear bombs. After he does that, it's pretty much a breeze. He does take a while to kill, I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna take a long time, but it isn't too hard. Just walk back and forth like I'm doing here, use your Mooncutters well, use your Bladestorm well, watch your Calamity timer, and you should be good. Okay, so here's the thing, as you can see, he absolutely spams you. So You really need to watch out for that attack. Once that attack is over, the game gets very easy again. Just walk back and forth. Do what you did to get him down to first half of health. Just do it over and over again, and eventually you'll kill him. Hopefully we get something good from this kill, but we probably won't. And there's really not too much else to say. I'm just going to get him down to 0 health. There really isn't too many other tips besides just watch your feet, make sure you know what's going on, and yeah, I'm not going to show the entire future Vint kill because it will take a long time. As you can see, there's only 16 minutes left. I think I've been doing this 15 minutes now. It is by no means optimal to farm this solo, but if you're really struggling to find a good team, or if you're struggling to find anyone to do this with, you can always solo it like this. Okay, there is the kill. Absolute garbage from him as usual, but after you do that, you can pat yourself on the back. That is a very hard raid to solo. It took us a solid 17 minutes, but that is the gist of it. Thank you very much for watching my video. Comment down below if this helped you solo the raid, and let me know what other things you want to know how to do in RPG Sim and what other videos you want to see from me. I will see you all later this week with more content, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!